I have no idea what just happened. Somehow it just broke one of those. I don't know how. I really don't. Like, I've made him punch those things so many times. And I've noticed, most of the time, if I get him to punch one of these, I'll even let, like, recoil. Like, ow, I hurt my hand. What? And how are you gonna react? In some way. Yeah, but it doesn't break open or anything. What happened? It looked like the robot broke open one of those things. Cool. I have no idea. Like, I did the right thing apparently, and I still don't know what I did. And I have to do it again. The thing was, it was behind the robot too when it happened. I don't think you have to do it a bunch of times, because I did it a lot of times before. This time, what I was trying to do, I was trying to get to punch on these things. And then randomly, one of the... all the stands broke. I was trying to get to punch this wire. What is happening? And is it not that I need to punch on these? No, well, because I can't reach it, but... I can try. It reacts to punching the thing too, I feel like. It just punched right through it. And that time it didn't react, actually. Yeah, see? So I don't think that's it. I might pause the recording for a bit and keep trying, but I have no idea. I don't think somehow the robot broke one of these, and I have no idea how. I don't have the slightest idea. What's most confusing is that the robot even reacts to having punched something, although it doesn't make a sound or anything, it just pulls back its hand for a second. And Amy would be so kind as to give me... What? Why'd it work that time? Why didn't it work all the other times?
The world is mine, Neutron.
So look at that. Do I need to get to punch... I guess it makes sense if I need to punch higher, because it's punching more towards the ground. But how do I get to punch higher? I feel like I've tried to jump before and that hasn't helped. Of course, this has to be the case where I figured this out and I don't have any health left. Hey, over here. Yeah, I guess I need to jump so I'll punch high? I might as well punch the one hit the base? The game should have told me that I was on the right track when I was close though, if that was really the case. Come on. Because I had the right idea for a while there, and I did it repeatedly without getting results. There we go. Jeez, that was ridiculous.
Now we've got a chance to defeat Calamitous once and for all. Let's go, Goddard. We've got an evil scientist to stop.
How to get down here? Why was I ever up there?
The primary fire button will use the primary fire mode. The
Like that
secondary
repeated.
fire
Ooh,
button
look at me.
will use
Let me
the
go.
secondary fire mode.
Bubblegum would be just the thing.
Ow. Thanks. The thing for what? For whatever I'm doing here, I guess. I only have one weapon, apparently. I got it. What are you doing? Oh, that was a nice timing for a heal. I guess you want to do something with these? Again, no idea what these are doing.
Your machine
This
is
game's a little cryptic. Didn't Chad earlier say I had to turn something off at some point, which I have proceeded to not do? Okay, well now I've gummed all these up, but what's the point of that? It's really too that the fight arena itself changes over time? Oh, look at me. Skating around. Oh, but these are already all gummed up, so what's the point now? Well, the Clamobot is getting a lot more excited. God is just sitting here now. He is done. Shoo. Well, what does he have to do now? I mean, Jimmy claimed that gum was the answer. It didn't look like it did anything to this guy out here. I don't think the Clamobot cares. I don't think the Clamobot cares if I shoot them with gum. Oh, maybe they do? Yeah, I can shoot things too, just not as well as you. I still have no idea what these did. What was the point of those? So I still don't know what the point of these was. Presumably it does something at some point. Maybe it's just relevant later? Oh, does it generate his shield? I think that's what it is. Which the game could have told me at some point. Yeah, I think it's his shield. I wish the game would just display your health on the screen all the time. Aim, Jimmy. I can't aim at the thing correctly. This is the worst part. Jimmy seems to be a bit overzealous with aiming at things, and this time that's not the case at all. Good turn. Do you have anything better to do, dude?
My Clamobot will destroy you.
I think it just disappeared in the air there. The worst part of this is not being able to hit the thing. It's kind of weird what they do there. It's just disappearing in the air. I guess they're trying to make use of the fact that you can't see above yourself very well, except I can still see above myself enough to see the robot disappear there. How many times are you gonna shoot there, dude?
Your precious jet fusion cannot save you.
Jimmy, it's right there. There. Okay. It usually takes a little longer to come down than that. Any reaction at all to me having done damage to the thing would be nice. At least getting a small graphical effect of gum on top of it, I guess. Here we go. That's why I need this whole time. There should be more else to pick up somewhere, right? No? I thought there'd be more than one. Darn it. There you go. That's kind of a delayed reaction there. Oh, what? Stop that. This is not what we need. I don't need to hit each of these ones anyways. Okay. Well, the shooting has not stopped. I was thinking, oh yeah, maybe they'll stop shooting now that they've started running around. They're apparently changing up their attacks, but no. Why can't I break their shooting arm first? Ugh. Really? Okay, we do at least start at this part again. Health is back for later. Well, I know that, because he hasn't done anything this whole time. That was a given. I'm saving him, actually. Not sure you've worked out what's really going on here, Calamitous. Could we? There we go. Oh wow, really? That was actually everything? See, it's just about being able to actually hit the thing. Because there's no auto target for some reason, like there is in other parts. Come on now. Like there's in the rest of the game. Rightfully so, even if it's a little oversensitive. I'd rather have a slightly oversensitive... What are you doing? Oh, he's pirouetting and throwing stuff out a la Robot Patrick. It's interesting. Oh, there's more health actually. That's nice. Where are you now? You have nothing to shoot now, so... I guess you can do that now. It's creative, admittedly. This is the worst. Oh, come on. That was dumb, and I do need more health.
My Clamobot will destroy you.
There's not much left for it. What? Where did these explosions come from? I saw him missing these bombs, or are they just... Are random explosions just suddenly appearing on me? 'Cause it feels like that's what's happening. Look, I'd rather just tank the hit and do this if I can. Come on. Every time this happens, it somehow gets... Where are some of these coming from? I don't know where some of these bombs even... Some of these so almost just appear to be coming out of nowhere. Instead of actually coming from the robot. So now he's gonna charge me, which I should actually try to avoid this time. Is it managing to undo all the damage I was getting? It's managing to undo its damage. Really? I feel like it's healing, basically. It's really hard to see these things. Do I need to do a ton of damage in a short amount of time? Because that's basically impossible with how bad my accuracy is. Come on now. How much more could I have hit it there? What more is there to do?
Your precious jet fusion cannot save you.
What are you doing? I have no explanation of what's happening now. Like, there's no... I don't know if there's something else I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what it could be. Because... Oh, these things bounce around like crazy. I don't have any other attacks as far as I'm aware. No other buttons do anything.
Your machine is no match for mine.
And it just beats. It just wipes everything off and repeats. Okay. Is there something I'm missing here, or is...
You and your robot dog are history.
Whatever you say, but... This thing just seems not to care that I'm hitting it anymore. And I don't see any alternative thing I could be doing. It looks like you should be doing the same thing. You take down its shields.
Nothing will stand in my way.
And then it's vulnerable like it was before, so you attack it. And it accumulates gum on it, but it shakes it off somehow. I cannot see these things. They bounce around randomly and are so small. And some of them go so far away from the robot. How am I... And it is so hard to hit the thing. I think I've done about the maximum damage to it once or twice. But it's really hard to be certain with how...
I will rule the earth.
See, nothing... It's like there's a minimum degree, a minimum amount that I can rotate, and I won't be able to hit it, regardless of whether I rotate the maximum or the minimum amount. There, I try to say things as I'm doing stuff, and it always goes poorly. What I mean to say is, it seems like I can only rotate in certain intervals, and what will happen is I won't be hitting it, so I'll rotate, but then I'll over-rotate because I turn the smallest amount, but the smallest amount I can possibly rotate is too much. See, look, it just wipes everything off basically immediately. Look at this. Is there something I should be doing different, or what? I can't hit it when it's up in the air. The game is not giving me any indication as to what to do otherwise. I don't know why I would have to do something different than what I've been doing. I really had to take down its shields. I guess... I don't know what other way I could possibly hurt it. I don't think I can make it like ram into things or anything. And still accumulates gum on it. There should be another reason to think I'm making progress when I shoot gum at it.
My Clamobot will destroy you.
Only by virtue of being apparently invincible. See? Nothing does anything here. If it makes it so I had to make it ran into something or something weird like that, but I don't know what that could possibly even be. And it starts rotating basically immediately. I'm firing as fast as I can. I can't activate Goddard here. I can't do anything fun with its bombs, I don't think. I do have a grab. What does this do? Did I miss Goddard telling me what that grab does? I may have missed something with that. Again, you play games where you're trying to think about what to say as you commentate, and leads to things like you missing stuff like that. So that could be a problem. Yeah.
Your precious jet fusion cannot save you.
I guess that did damage to it somehow? Yeah, I suppose I missed that, since... It's weird. I at least noticed Goddard telling me how to move around. So I figured I would have noticed whatever else he told me, but... Still, couldn't there have been some better indication of what was going on there than just the robot seeming to not take damage anymore? And usually something actually happens that makes an enemy or a boss invulnerable to a certain attack when it doesn't work anymore, not it just ceasing to damage them. Oh, I see. So I have to throw it in the right spot, I think is the idea here. Okay. So I didn't quite realize at first that I had separate buttons to grab it and then... Ow. I had separate prompts to grab it and then throw it. I thought it was one action. I recognize that, I think. I can guess the right thing to do here.
Your machine is no match for mine.
Of course, given how my guesses of what to do usually go, I can't make any promises. Might also eventually escape, I don't know. I don't know if I just have to throw out a wall in general, or specifically that wall. That worked, although seizure warning there. No, I just have to throw out any wall.
Neutron, you foiled my plan this time, but you won't catch. What's happened? This isn't. I'll get you, Neutron. Goodbye, Neutron.
What did that laser even do?
Come on, Jet. We have to get out of here. Don't have much time. Come on, boy.
Oh, Goddard's got the stuff in his head again. That's nice.
Got it, Jet!
I think the stuttering's an emulator problem. If you're wondering.
So what happened to Calamitous?
I reprogrammed his teleport device. Now he's having a nice stay in jail at the taxpayer's expense.
But how are we gonna change everything back to normal?
What jurisdiction does he fall under?
By
He was in
attaching
space.
the idols to the virtual world reproduction machine, I should have enough power to change Retroville back to normal.
Look at the detail in those eyes. the reflection. Reflecting an empty desert landscape, which is precisely what the interior of this room looks like. Look at you,
Well,
fancy
Jimmy,
pants.
it looks like you came through. You rescued me, captured Calamitous, and saved Retroville.
Well, I'm sure you could have done it too, Mr. Fusion.
Jimmy Neutron, you saved my life. Well, actually, truth is, I had everything under control. No, really, I did. It was me who programmed the teleporter. I coached Jimmy all the way through.
Well, I guess that's it.
Talk about an ultra headache.
Retroville is back to normal. Everything is back to the way it was.
Help me!
Those pre-rendered scenes are really nice, though. I enjoy those. I enjoyed playing a lot of parts of it. Man, the end there. Ugh, some of the inanities in this game kind of reached a peak. I realize it might have been my own fault what happened at the last part of that final boss. Me not realizing I need to grab the thing. I still think they should have better signaled that shooting gun wouldn't work, but that aside. If I didn't... Really, Clamobot is Tim Curry. I can see that. You never know when someone's Tim Curry until you actually see the credits because of all the range. But anyways. Oh, I don't usually follow actors much in any way. Enough to recognize them by voice anyways. But regardless. That was an interesting experience, and I think it was worthwhile. I do think that did Ultralord himself speak at some point? In general, I think it had its blemishes. And generally just having its own weird sense of logic or lack thereof that on occasion reared its head without the game giving further explanation. You just had to do weird things all of a sudden, or things just worked in a weird way. And some things were strictly untrue, what the game would tell you. I think the game has a problem with communicating to you. I think that's really the main problem that there was. And there were some small things, like I was doing the right thing when that Clamobot was supposed to be destroying the cases for the idols, and yet because you have to jump to get the rod to actually punch the glass or whatever the containing material was. Because of that, I got it wrong for a while. That is really silly, and the game didn't give you any hints about that. I would say usually for something for a younger audience, the game should give you a little bit more to go off of as to what to do, I think. Not that you need to, like, assume all kids are stupid or anything, but I think you can be a little bit kinder to your maybe something closer to hand-holding, or at least giving a helpful nudge every now and then if it's a game like this one where you have a younger audience that might have a hard time figuring those things out. But speaking of hard, this game did get pretty rough towards the end. Actually got rough kind of early on, at least with regards to some of the platforming and whatnot. Supposedly others haven't had so much difficulty with the jumps in this game, so I don't know if something weird was happening with jumping. If there's like some really subtle emulator glitch that makes Jimmy jump less in this game or something, but I was still able to make everything, strictly speaking, except for that one candy I wasn't able to get in the jungle. Speaking of jumps though, there was the one that I got a game over on in the volcano. That one bugged me, also because of how dark it was. I think that was kind of poorly designed. Maybe you can make that jump normally though. I don't know. So maybe I should give the game some more credit with regard to the platforming that I have here. If it's a bit more sane in the actual game, that the jumps aren't so precise, then okay, cool. But if they are like that in reality, ugh. It's kind of nerve-wracking. This game, I think what really happened though was towards the end of this game, it just had too many things that killed you instantly. Like, I didn't feel like I had as much health as I did just lives and continues. Like, continues were my number of lives, and lives were my health, because everything would kill me instantly. And then there was the bug I ran into at one point with that cutscene not playing after fighting Cindy. That was unfortunate. But I don't think the game was bugged other than that. I do maintain that I liked a lot of things about this. The pre-rendered cutscenes, the opening and end, were really nice. I think Jimmy looked a little uncanny in that ending scene for some reason, but still, it's cool seeing something of that fidelity in a game like this. I don't deny that there was effort put into this game. I think it could use a little bit more love in a couple specific places, namely communicating to you what it wanted you to do, in some cases not contradicting itself, like, I need to move fast through here. No, you don't. There's electrified floor. That will hurt you. Those are very distinct threats. What's this music? Interesting. The minigames were kind of an amusing fun break in most cases, like the races and whatnot, the things you did in different vehicles, playing as Goddard, yes. Although a couple of them are a little annoying, like the one where you had to knock down boulders and not hit Goddard, but whatever. That wasn't too painful or anything, I just wasted some time of my own on that by accident, after getting a game over, because of some silly platforming. The slide puzzle at the end was also kind of gratuitous. That was one of the things that really made me ask myself, man, what's this game's target audience in terms of like age? Because those slide puzzles are a pain for anyone that hasn't practiced them, but especially a kid's probably gonna have several difficulties being patient enough to do that. One commenter said because of that slide puzzle they never finished the game, and I could believe it. I could see lots of kids not doing that. I managed to power through a couple slide puzzles in... So I've heard, that is how the gaming industry is. But, I managed to power through a couple slide puzzles in the Finding Nemo game, but that's another matter. But this game, where it's missing some big things, and especially stuff like, one, what are the nav chips for later in the game? I don't know. And why can you unlock areas before you're supposed to be able to go to them story-wise? That bugged me a lot. It was really confusing that. Another thing, the game doesn't quite explain what's going on. But those big things being awkward and having some missing bits is accompanied by lots of really cool small things. Like, on just about every door, you see how you get into that door. Like, is there some kind of, like, scanner you have to use to get through that door, for instance? The final boss area, for instance, had hand scanners next to every door. And even in the jungle, you saw that. They were in the suspended platforms with buildings section where you were jumping through the trees. All the buildings there, they had like hand scanners or something to enter. Like those are really cool small details. I liked some of the layouts of different places where it was a little bit more non-linear sometimes. I like how the game usually made it possible, if not always, to backtrack as well. I liked how the first level in particular really felt, I think it was a little longer than it had to be, but the first level really felt, as linear as it was, it felt like it wasn't. It felt like you were actually going through a city in a fairly organic way, and I liked that. That was really cool they managed to make it feel that way. That was some really nice level design. I do think the game, maybe as a whole, but especially individual levels, tended to wear out their welcome a little bit. The first level dragged on way too long, for instance, and a couple other levels did the same thing, like the desert level, the last full level, the one where I never managed to find that last nav chip. So I think I would have liked this game more if it was a bit shorter, basically. The only place I really enjoyed through and through, with really no exception, was the first pirate stage. The dock there. Even the minigame for shooting the pirates was a little longer than it should have been. Again, this game tends to drag on. It tends to make things a little longer than it has to, I think. And that's in addition to padding out its length already by making itself difficult. If you ask why this game is difficult, I guess one answer would be to get more value out of the game, to get more time out of the game, because it's more difficult and thus it takes longer to get through. That makes sense. It's kind of an old mentality. I think that mentality was kind of old-fashioned by the time this game took out Rob Lemon every time. But it's something you can use, I guess. But on top of that, the game is already so long. I don't know. So I think it became apparent, especially towards the end, there are certain parts I wasn't quite enjoying, particularly that final boss, especially with how it just wasn't, there was a lack of communication. But the parts that I did enjoy were worth it. I think it was really cool seeing all the detail. There's lots of stuff to do in this game. The cutscenes were nice. Little details also, like whenever you restart a minigame, there would be dialogue explaining, like, kind of like preserving continuity. It's not like you're just reversing time, it's you're going back and trying again, actually. Okay, it's all cool stuff, Jimmy streams up. Thank you. I'm sure all the kids were careful to watch through the entirety of the credits to see that message. THQ, the old THQ logo. Yeah, I think this game's maybe a little confused in some places with regards to its target audience or something like that. Or maybe I'm just not quite understanding the time and place it came from. I don't know. I think I should give it more credit. There's a gallery to look at now. Ships. The ships were cool. This was still amazing. That was the best part of this game, those boss fights. Some different outfits. I cannot open that one. I can open this one. Oh, that means they're locked, I guess? Oh, are these candies or something that you have to pick up that unlock these? Yeah. Darn. It was destroying stuff that got you the videos. Darn, I wish I could have seen all these actually, now that I think about it. Did this ever appear in the game? You were absent. I was disappointed about that. I wanted a car boss fight. That would have been the only thing that I would have liked to a similar degree. That's a really ridiculous foul boss fight. I know, I had fun with those. And yet other little things, like sometimes, like not being able to tell the difference between Sonic pickups, or Jimmy's, what was I about to say? Oh jeez. I'm getting distracted by the cool stuff I'm looking at. Concept art is cool. It's these guys. Did we see the one on the left at any point? I don't know if we did. It's Goddard. I don't know if that appeared anywhere. Oh yeah, some of the animations I think were a little disappointing. Like, I'm reminded whenever I see this thing of just standing there and attacking and shooting, just not expressing anything. Ooh, early menu. Interesting. It did still feel silly that Goddard tended to just kind of sit and watch as he did things. That's not too big a deal in reality. I like how Sheen's on there. And it's the same Sheen. So that's it. I didn't pay enough attention to this fight. Did this actually have his bed and wallpaper in there? Because that's really funny. So, speaking of the boss fights, if you go into a boss fight again, or if you go into any level again, you see new stuff. I don't know why you see new stuff if you go into a level again, because the introduction would have made sense anytime, even the first time you go in there. But you get new dialogue if you go back to a boss fight. That's really cool too. Like, that's not a thing you would normally see in just about any game. Those are really nice little details. And this is a lot of stuff to look at. Oh, this little thing. This was another silly one. See, here there's a lever on the left. But no, you had to press some switches. And I think you had to fix the thing. You just had to press some switches and it turned on. That was another thing that bugged me. Or traffic light, why not? I like the Jimmy for scale on all of these. There's those things. Why were those there? A desk. Little thing to walk over. I guess you need concepts for these things. That section was a little annoying too. Admittedly. One needs to rotate one way, the other opposite. Ah, I see. Saying I'd animate those. Cool. Intro movie, no others. All 16 out. Oh, come on. I would have gone out. I'm guessing those were, so I don't know if, I don't know. Yeah, it would be nice to see these, but of course you can probably look these up anywhere you want. I wish I could have gotten that. I missed. So Gingle and nav chips does do something. So I guess the later nav chips are just for that. I wish I could have gotten those. I have no idea how to get that last nav chip though. This. Oh, key bottom. Hope you enjoyed. I did. It was worth it. Well, to play next, I'll have to look at my list again. There might be some other version of this. Of these Jimmy games I already played though that I need to play next. I think there is actually. I think there's a GBA version of this that I'll do next. After that I might want some time away from Jimmy for a bit. I don't know. I'll have to think out what to do after that, but that's after another game. So I'll do I think the GBA version of this next. There might be another GBA version of something to play next, I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe not. I don't think so. But we'll get to that when we get to it. For now, thanks for joining me on this. Press start. I will. Boom. This awkward little journey. With its warts and with its very nice details. This game has some real highs and some real lows. It's a peculiar one, but I can see why some people remember it fondly, both as a childhood game and just as a game that in a lot of ways is better than most licensed games. Even if it has some holes in some places. I think if you patched up the little things that bug me about this game, this would be a really good title. Maybe not quite Battle for Bikini Bottom level, but one that was worth hailing as a good example. Calm down. Alright, bye everyone.